Hi everyone. Uh, it's good to be back on here. I haven't done a tarot reading in a really long time, and I felt really called to do one today. There's been a lot happening in the world, both on a small scale, like a personal level, and big country, worldwide level. There's been a lot happening. I know you're all probably feeling it both on a grand scale and in your own life. Personally, and I'm wondering if anyone out there will resonate with this. Like, personally, I've just been becoming aware of a lot of my own karmic patterns and calling my power back from those. The phrase that keeps coming up to me is like, I'm standing up and turning the wheel of fortune myself. I'm taking my power back from certain situations that have been draining me. Becoming very conscious of what's going on in my life, especially the harmful things. There's been a lot of purging happening in my life with getting myself out of situations that I need to get out of, getting myself out of a job that I really needed to get out of that was draining my life, getting people out of my life romantically and otherwise that have been draining my energy. I'm very proud of myself. I recently got somebody that I was pretty sure was my twin flame for a really long time. I basically, like, it's so crazy. Like, I spent almost a year mourning my connection with this person, and he entered my mind again. I start getting all these messages from tarot readings. I start getting messages from the divine. He's back in my head. He's back in my dreams. And I was like obsessing over him coming back in. Then one day I'm doing some work for my therapist with my phone flipped over because I didn't want to be distracted. And this person fucking messaged me for the first time in almost a year. Like, I can't say that I experienced shock much in my life, but this person reaching out to me shocked me. Like, I felt physically, emotionally shocked. And I start obsessing. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. We're going to get back together. We're blah, blah, blah. We're twin flames. He entered my brain because he was telepathically communicating with me and all this stuff. And I'm so fucking proud of myself. I literally sent a message to this person. Hey there. There's a lot of really painful memories that I have associated with you, and I don't want you in my life anymore. And the ecstasy, the fucking bliss that came from being able to have the self-love and self-respect that it took to this person that I've been obsessing over and mourning over for a year. I removed him from my life. I'm no longer draining my energy by hoping and praying that this person will come back into my life. So, like, I think that I can only imagine that other people out there are going through this, where it's like, it's eclipse season. These things are becoming very clear. It's like very fucking clear that this person was draining my life force, and I was spending so much time and energy obsessing over this connection. And I took the power back and decided to say, no, this is not going to affect me this way anymore. I made the decision. I'm not here hoping that you're going to make a move towards me. I'm going to say, look, you've hurt me, and that's setting the energetic standard for my life. That's setting the standard for people who want to come into my life. That's setting the standard and saying, I'm not going to accept connections, jobs, situations where I feel like I need to beg and plead for a little breadcrumb of your love. I'm standing up and saying, no. this is how it's going to be. I'm telling you how it's going to be. So I can only imagine that that's the kind of stuff that's happening in your life, where these karmic patterns are becoming clear. Maybe you have a pattern of going into situations where you feel like you need to beg people for love, or you feel like you need to beg people for attention, forgiveness, whatever it is. And having the self-love and self-respect that it takes to say, I'm going to stand up and turn the wheel of fortune in my life myself. I'm not going to sit around and wait for somebody else to bring my justice in for me. I'm going to create my own justice for myself. It's eclipse season. There's a lot of justice happening. I know the first eclipse of this season was in Libra, so there's a lot of justice happening in relationships. There's a lot of pulling away from toxic things. I know that for me, like, a lot of stuff that I thought, my hair is crazy, a lot of stuff that I thought was healed already has really been triggered up in the last couple months, where it's like, oh my God, I thought I was past this. But that's not to say I'm sitting here beating myself up. It's just interesting to me to see, oh shit, I can still really fall for a toxic person. I can still really allow a lot of bullshit in my life. And I'm grateful for that clarity that it's brought in around the wounds that I still have to heal. And, you know, we are all one, and we're all connected. We're all part of the same soul force in this world. So I can only imagine that what I'm going through is what you're going through as well, especially if you've been attracted to this message. Like, it's time to become aware of those karmic patterns. It's time to become aware of those wounds and really clear them, because you deserve it. And just know that if you're grieving these connections and you're grieving these things that are passing from your experience, that any negative people or energies or vibrations or situations that you're removing from your life, that is raising the vibration of you. That's raising the vibration of your life, so that your manifesting power is getting stronger, and you can be more clear about what you actually want to bring into your life, what you actually want to manifest. And the more you remove these negative situations that are draining your energy, the more energy you're going to have, and space and high vibration to manifest the things that you actually need from your life. Thank you, God, so much for everything you do for me and the collective on a daily basis. Can I please have a message today that the person watching this needs to hear? It's a good time. Like, it's a really good time in the universe. I know that there's a lot of horrors, and there's a lot of conflicting messages out there. There's a lot of violence happening with Palestine and Israel, and there's people being murdered. There's uprisings happening, which is always great to see. Ten of Swords reversed. You're closing out cycles. We're closing out cycles here. We're taking the power back and saying, this is done. No more pain will come from this source. No, I will no longer tolerate having these people stab me in the back. I will no longer tolerate breadcrumbs of love. I will no longer tolerate feeling depleted like narcissists. I will no longer tolerate these unhealthy people thinking that they can just take and take and take from me. These connections can be very intoxicating. You know, I was reading the other day about, like, why are narcissistic relationships so hard to leave? And it's because, well, at least for me, I can say that what really grabs me in is the intermittent reinforcement. It's like, okay, this person's a piece of shit and I know it, and like I understand what's happening here, but then they'll come out of nowhere and be super sweet, and it like ropes my inner child right back in. It makes me think, oh, well, maybe this is gonna last. Maybe this is really who they are. And it's like, no, that's the same thing that makes gambling so addictive, is that intermittent reinforcement. It's the same thing that makes social media and like doom scrolling through shit so addictive, is because I don't know what it is. I'm not like a neuroscientist, but something about being deprived of the dopamine hit and then getting the dopamine hit, like scrolling through social media and you see a bunch of bullshit, but then boom, there's something that lights up your dopamine receptors, and that intermittent dopamine hit is really what drags you in. That's the same thing with gambling. It's the same thing with dealing with a narcissist. It's like it's bad, great, oh my god, bad, great, oh my god, it's so addictive. It's all the same. But no more pain is going to come from this source. You are standing up and saying, I'm done with this cycle. Period. I'm not waiting for somebody else to come end this cycle for me. I'm not begging the universe to bring in somebody to love me, right? I'm going to do it myself. It's a powerful time. There's a lot of very conflicting messages on social media right now. I would greatly encourage you to unplug from all of it. Go through the withdrawals. Go through the dopamine cleanse. Get off social media. It's such a toxic landscape. 5 of Cups. Yep, feeling sad. Walking away from these things. You might have to go through a mourning period as you're cleansing these things out, as you're removing these things from your life. Of course there's going to be grief. Of course there's going to be sadness. You might feel like you're losing something at first, but understand that this is what's on the other side. The 3 of Cups. Celebration, joy, love, togetherness. You're removing the negative people, the energies from your life. I have to pee. I'm not going to ignore the needs of my body. I had to pee really bad and it was distracting me. So I'm back now. Never ignore the needs of your body. Especially women. We're taught to ignore pain, ignore our needs, not to pee. I know I pee a lot. Pee when you need to pee, period. But like, you might go through a period of grief while you're removing these situations from your life. I know it's kind of doesn't make sense sometimes. Like, I had to remove myself from this job. I had to remove myself from a couple different romantic situations. And it doesn't make sense. It's like, oh my God, I knew this situation was so shitty. I knew this situation, this place that I was working was so horrible. And I still feel grief about it. I still miss some things about the place. Nothing is black or white. There's things that we're going to miss about these people that we're removing. There's things that we're going to miss about these situations that we're moving away from. Of course there's going to be grief. But nothing in life is permanent. And when we get attached to certain situations and people, of course there's going to be grief in removing them. There's even positive things about narcissists and unhealthy, toxic people that we have to remove from our life. There's going to be fun times that we're going to miss. There's going to be, oh, now my phone is dry. Now my phone isn't blowing up every day with this person's name, or I miss, laughing with this person. I miss certain things about this job. I miss certain things about this family member that I need to cut out. I miss having someone to fucking cuddle with or go out to eat with or whatever. I wish I could talk to this person about this video I just saw, but like, if you can get past that grief, then you're going to come to this celebration where removing those toxic energies, removing that drain from your life is going to result in the right people having space to come in, the right energies, the space to come in, the right fucking abundance, clarity, peace. I've been dealing with nicotine since I was 15 years old. That's 16 years now. Insane. Over half my life, I've been addicted to nicotine. And I'm still on that journey. I just had to get rid of the vapes and get back on the patch. And like, I don't know why I brought this up. But I think that the awareness to even know that certain people and situations and energies are draining your life force from you, it takes cultivating an awareness of what's even going on. Like, you have to cultivate an awareness practice of some kind. A connection with God, a connection with your higher power, a connection with your body. Because you can't know that things are draining your life force if you're not connected to yourself. You can't understand that certain situations that you're in are toxic for you if you have no inner awareness. I read something on social media, I think not too long ago. It was like, how do you know, or how do you protect yourself from negative, toxic relationships? And how you do that is regulating your nervous system, learning how to regulate your nervous system so that you can sense when somebody or something is throwing off your nervous system. If you have a dysregulated nervous system from the beginning, somebody who dysregulates you is going to feel right at home in your life. If you live in chaos, if your nervous system is constantly triggered, or you're in a constant trauma response, you're going to attract people who bring you into a trauma response. And that's going to feel totally normal to you. It might even feel exciting and peaceful, or like whatever, like exciting and addictive. Like I said, it's the same thing that makes gambling and social media and all these things addictive, because it's like, it's not always good, but when you get that hit, it's so powerful. So like, really cultivate that awareness within yourself, cultivate a mindfulness practice, meditate every day, get in touch with yourself, eat healthy foods, keep yourself hydrated, sleep enough on a normal schedule or a regular schedule so that your nervous system can get regulated, so that you can even detect when something fucked up is going on, that you can even detect when somebody is unhealthy for you. Because, man, I know when I was in that job and I was getting so dysregulated and I was, vaping and my heart is pounding out of my chest constantly all day, and this person is fucking up my head and I'm in this chaotic job, it felt so right. It was like, now I'm going through this withdrawal of like, I'm not getting that intermittent dopamine hit. I'm not surrounding myself in chaos. Re-regulating my nervous system so that chaos doesn't feel good to me. When you're dysregulated, chaos feels good to you because it's exactly fitting in with the way your nervous system is operating. I got a piece of download, if you want to call it, in the last 12 hours, and I feel called to share it. I don't want trust fund baby spirituality anymore. It's not the time for it. And I'll be honest, I'm as big of a fan of Ram Dass as the next spiritual person. I even tattooed the words "Be Here Now" on my arm. I love Ram Dass. He has helped so many people, and I feel even blasphemous speaking out in any way against him, but like, I'll give him his flowers, which he deserves. My goodness, the man has probably saved so many lives with his teachings. He's amazing. He's an angel. Like, the things that he has taught, and I will still benefit from his teachings, and I will still listen to his lectures, and they will bring me up to a higher vibration and all these things. I'm not dismissing the teachings of Ram Dass purely because he grew up rich and comfy and cozy. But I'll be honest, like, I don't want to get my spiritual teachings from folks who were raised by philanthropists anymore. Ram Dass's father was a lawyer, a founder of a university. Like, I want to get my spiritual teachings from the people who have been in the gutter, who have found God. And don't get me wrong, any way that anybody comes to God, any way that anybody wants to teach and help and serve and love people is beautiful and amazing, and it's helpful and amazing. But like, where I'm at right now, at least in my journey, is like, I'm about the furthest thing from a trust fund baby there is. This beautiful apartment that I'm sitting in, I earned myself. Coming from homelessness, coming from addiction, coming from abuse, neglect, the gutter. I want to hear from people that I can relate to. And again, I don't want to bring negative energy towards Ram Dass or like anybody who, you know, happens to be a trust fund kid who like came to God and is now helping people, but like, I don't know, I feel like it's not the time to be like seeking the spiritual wisdom of people who have had it easy in life, man. I want to hear from the people who have survived up from the gutter, who have been hungry, who have been homeless, and that really know what it's like to be in the fucking darkness. You feel me? I feel like that's the age that we're in. Temperance. Again, no ill will toward Ram Dass or any spiritual teachers who have extremely rich parents. But like, I don't know, man. I would much rather hear a lecture from somebody who doesn't have the financial resources to just fuck off to India for years. I want to hear from somebody who knows what it's like to open the fridge up and there's nothing in there. I want to hear from somebody who found God in the midst of a soul-sucking job that they have to go to every day. I want to hear from people who have, you know, found God, you know, when they give food to homeless people, when they buy food for homeless people, when they barely got enough to eat themselves. That's just me. I'm still going to benefit from the teachings of Ram Dass. Nothing but love toward him. I love him to death. But I don't know, just something that came into my mind in like the last 12 hours or so is like, of course it's easy to be full of love and light when you haven't ever had to struggle for anything. Generally, I want to surround myself with people who have made their own success, made their own justice in this world. They're more interesting anyway. Temperance, please be patient. Balance, strike balance in your life. Regulate your nervous system. Have patience. I know that a lot of downloads are coming to everybody. Things are clearing away. We're reaching the Ten of Swords reverse. We're saying no more. No more pain is going to come to me from this situation. And that might be filling you with this rush of like, oh my God, all these goals that I've been putting offside because I've had so much pain to focus on. Oh, I'm so excited and euphoric now that like all these things are clearing away and all these downloads are coming to my mind because it's no longer clouded with all these things, and you start to get impatient. I know I do. When all these downloads start coming in and you just want it now and you want it yesterday, and like the way you're going to get your justice is through measured, calm, patient action. It's all coming to you. Your angels are with you. You're safe. You're watched out for by God. You're getting these downloads for a reason. Just know that it's going to take time. That's something that I've been telling myself through this whole process is like, honey, don't expect all these changes to come overnight. If I look, and I'm sure if you look back at the trajectory of your life, it's all been taken care of, you know? Sometimes these massive changes happen over months and years, but it's all happening. If you're getting the information in your third eye, it's going to happen. It might not happen tomorrow, but if you can have that faith and relax and regulate your nervous system, because I'm an addict, man. I want everything to happen right now. I want to be calm and peaceful right now. I want my goals to happen right now. But if I look back at the trajectory of my life, it's like when I escaped homelessness, it took time to get where I am today. It took 3 years for me to fix my credit score from the damage that had happened to it because of my homelessness and all these things. It took me 3 years to fix my credit score to the point where I could even think about looking on a Zillow for a place to live instead of begging strangers on a Facebook group for a place to live and moving in with whoever the fuck. It took me 3 years to undo the damage of homelessness to my credit score to be able to move into a place by myself in a nice neighborhood. If you have that vision for yourself, say you're in the same type of situation, you're homeless, and you have this vision for yourself where you're living alone in a beautiful apartment, it might take a lot of time. But if you sit down and think, okay, this is big picture what I want, boom, 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 these are the steps that it's going to take, you will get there. Sometimes you have to be a little military-like about it. Okay, this is the goal. These are the actions that I need to take. This is how long it might take. Have that patience, have that balance to know, okay, this is the vision for my life, and this is what it's going to take to get there. I'm protected, I'm safe, and it's going to happen. Sometimes I go about in pity for myself and, how does it go? Sometimes I go about in pity for myself and then realize all the while a great wind carries me through the sky, right? So like, if you look back at your life, you might realize, man, I've never been rich, but my fridge has never emptied out. Even when I thought I was gonna fucking die, something was taking care of me. Some force was taking care of me. I might have been down and out, but I never died. I might have even been abused, but I've never been killed. So what I'm saying with that is like, realize that if you have these big goals, if you have these big dreams that might seem out of reach, do not give up because it doesn't manifest in the next 3 hours. There's a lot of clickbait videos out there. I watch a lot of motivational, like manifesting stuff. There's a lot of clickbait videos that come across my algorithm, like manifest in 1 hour, manifest in 3 minutes. It's like, That's not how this shit works. Don't be sucked in by all that. Real change takes time. And I'm not saying that shifts can't happen overnight. I'm not saying that shifts can't happen in a second. But have that patience to know that everything you're going through, everything you've been through is preparing you for what you asked for. If you're sad and confused and feeling grief about why certain people are being removed from your life right now, why certain situations are coming out of your life right now, it's because you are protected. It's because your angels are watching over you and saying, no more. So hang in there. Don't let yourself get distracted or pulled down by anything. People who are leaving your life, people who are entering your life. I don't know if the whole like spirituality from the gutter message came out correctly, but like it's just something I generally feel in life is like, because I felt kind of self-conscious talking about Ram Dass, but like, you know what I mean? It's like all these spiritual teachers are so amazing, but it's like then you realize, you look deeper and you find out that they come from an extremely rich family, and it's a little disappointing. It's like, man, that's why you were able to just go to India and, you know, delve into your spirituality, and God bless. Everybody comes to God in a different way, I'm sure. But I think we're about to see a time of spiritual teachers coming from the real gutter, dude. People who have struggled, people who have forged their spiritual teachings from a place of great lack. And I'll be honest with you, like, that's the type of shit that I would rather hear than, oh, you know, like, my hands have stayed soft my whole life and have had everything I've ever needed paid for. I would much rather hear my spiritual teachings from a person whose hands are calloused by years of hard work, whose feet have sores on them from how hard they work at their soul-crushing job. All the love to Ram Dass and people like him, but like, I think that we're about to enter a space and time where we're having a new generation of spiritual teachers rise up from the gutter. I think that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening and being here with me. Sending you so much love and power and patience.